Yes. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, once again, your handsome host, your travel god, Peter Joseph here for another video on your Thursday evening, May the 28th, 2026. Thank you all for watching right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down there in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. Show my other channels your love and support as well. You can leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, now, and then, or in the future, Conan. Below these stupid comments, you, sir, will get sent to the Shadow Realm, beat severely with an exploding baseball bat, and then Ozzy and Satan will come out, pick up the pieces, and then eat your soul. So don't do it. Go somewhere else with that bullshit. And if you don't like it, well, too bad for you. And that's that. You want to act like a schmuck, you're going to get treated as such. And that's how it is. You don't like it? Don't watch my videos. But you will, because you got nothing else to do on a Thursday evening or in life itself. And if you do, then do it. And if not, well, suffer. That's pretty much all I got to say about that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell to turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because you miss anything, you're pretty much SOL. You're a douchebag. And you know what that means. And if you don't know what SOL means, look it up, asshole. But it is what it is. So, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all that good shit. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, you grab the tasty cold one, and enjoy the show. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, then get out of here. But, like I said, you'll stay here because you got nothing else to do in your stupid life. But if you do, then go do it already. Don't worry about what I do in my personal life, because it's so epic, I know, but at least I do things. You know, I work, I go out with the missus and my friends. I do it all. So, think I don't have a life and I just stay home and I'm on YouTube all day? No, you can't prove it. So, kiss my rosy red ass, Mahoney. And go fuck yourselves. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on your Thursday evening, still light out, got another hour of sunlight, gonna get dark around my neck of the woods in the northeast, about another hour or so, which is great. And it's gonna be long hours. This summer is gonna be actually longer than expected. So, you know, it's gonna get darker, you know, it's gonna be a long, dark summer, you know what I mean? Long, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, the sun's going to be out for a while during the summer until we get to, like, late August. Or early September. So, enjoy it. Enjoy it while I can. We're about to start the final month of the first half of The Price is Right. I mean, the first half of the year. About to start June on Monday. And then, by the time we hit July 1st, that's the second half of The Price is Right. I mean, the second half of the year. See what happens with that. Summer will be starting. And, yeah, we'll see how the summer goes. It's gonna be epic. We got a lot of wrestling, a lot of sports, good shit coming down the pipe. So, get ready, hit that bell on my respective channels, because I'm gonna talk a lot this summer. And I'm gonna enjoy it, too. And if you can't enjoy it, then get the fuck out of here! That's that. Alright, on your Thursday evening, we got TNA Empire Wrestling tonight. Champions versus Challengers night, basically. Got some good matches tonight. Should be some interesting pairings here and there. Can they coexist? We'll see. As we're getting closer to Slammiversary, which is about 3 weeks away. A little over 3 weeks. So we got all that. and a whole lot more tonight on your 2-hour Cue for Insomnia on AMC, and that's Impact Wrestling. And we also got Ring of Honor tonight, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. And that's that. But I hope you had a great day, ladies and gentlemen. It was kind of a mixed bag today. It was sunny, then it was cloudy, then it rained a little bit, then it was sunny, then it was looking like it was going to rain again. Now the sun is back out for, I guess, the rest of the day. Sun's gonna be going down about an hour. Dark, in about 8:30, quarter to 9 o'clock, which is great. I love that. Get to go out and do more stuff, if you know what I mean. So, well, it's great. Weekend's coming, the final weekend of May. See what happens with that. We got Triple R pay-per-view this Saturday night. Clash in Italy on Sunday afternoon. SmackDown, 2 p.m. If you have a VPN. If not, you have to watch the replay at 8. So, I will be watching it at 2 p.m. because I will not be around tomorrow night because I'm going out with friends. And the missus, of course. We're going to have fun. I'm going to do a lot of things in the city. And then I'll be back later. But tonight, just chilling. I was supposed to go out today, but my plans changed, so. But I am going out tomorrow. Might be going out Saturday, too, so. But we got all that. But we got lots of stuff to do tonight. But I hope you had a great day. Like I said, the weather's up and down today. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit chillier. Not too bad. Saturday's going to be a little bit chillier, but kind of get back up to, the 70s pretty much all weekend. A couple of 60s here and there early next week, but back up to normal temperatures, a little bit around near 80, maybe by the end of next week, but good stuff. A little rain next week and going into next weekend, the first weekend of June. But it is what it is. I mean, we had a pretty, we had a wild month of May weather-wise. I mean, that monsoon we got last week, woo! Glad that's out of the way. But hurricane season's starting, I believe, June 1st, I think, so. Hopefully, no hurricanes around the Northeast and Florida, even in the Bahamas and Puerto Rico and those islands. Hopefully, no major hurricanes from now until September. But so, see what happens in the next, pretty much the next 5 months. With June, July, August, September, pretty much October, so 5 months. Because it kind of dies down after Halloween. So. And then we don't have to worry about it until next year. But should be an interesting summer, ladies and gentlemen. Here in the United States of America and around the world. That's that. Alright, after 8 minutes of spiel, ladies and gentlemen, which you clipped, and nobody gives a fuck if you did. Because that's all you can do, because you have no life. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get to Impact in about an hour or so, let's talk about your NXT review for this past Tuesday night, May the 26th, 2026. 262626. 262026. Whatever. But anyway. Alright, so your NXT review from May 26, 2026 on the CW11. As we're really not going anywhere because we don't have a major event coming up for a little while. But, NXT 3.0 basically still in the gear. We're getting some newbies coming up here and there, from LFG and WWE ID and Evolve. Still learning about some of them. A few more newbies are coming in here and there. But the main storylines, Tony D'Angelo, my cousin, always got a lot of challengers, Cam Hendricks, Naruku, Evil. And a few others, Mason Rook, we got that. Even Miles, don't call him Ozzy Osbourne, he's got problems with Darkstate. He's got a lot of problems altogether. Tatum Paxley got problems, and even Matty Winkowski, the Speed Champion. All the champions, we got problems. So, Lola Vice. We'll talk about all that we'll see what happens as, the rookie class comes into NXT. And it might be more down the line. We got that. Alright, so as always, we are emanating from Nickelodeon Studios in the parking lot of the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. I'll get it out of my mouth. That's what she said. But we're in Orlando, Florida, as always, at the Capitol Wrestling Center. And our commentary team every Tuesday night. The man with the creepy jacket, he loves his candy religiously, but he's still a creepy bastard. And that's Vic Joseph and his his color commentator, the man who sits right next to him. He's crazy too. He smokes more weed than you do. That all rhymed. He's a two-time Hall of Famer. The man who, used to be known as Black Snow. But he's known to us as the man who is the master of the spinneroonie, and that's Booker T, sucker! Oh yeah, man! Shucky ducky, quack quack. Okay. We got that. Alright, so the Sip Master himself, Booker T, and the Candyman, Vic Joseph on commentary for another edition of NXT. Let's get into it. So NXT, Tuesday night was alright. Nothing great. Some good stuff here and there. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time. Alright, so we go right to the action, because as always, when I talk, there's a little less talk and a lot more action. As my ex used to say. That's copyright, by the way. That too. Excuse me. Moving on. Alright, so we start off with our first match of the night. A non-title match, not for the women's speed title, but these two lovely ladies go at it. My girl, Maddie Winkowski, with her bestie, Kendall Gray of Rank QCC, takes on Mrs. Him. That's Kaylani Jordan. Lonnie, whatever you can call her. So, it was a belated happy birthday to my girl, Maddie Winkowski. She's like 25 years old. I don't even know exactly how old she is, but... So, happy birthday, Maddie. Love you. Anyway, so these two went at it. Decent match. Starts off with ready to go after what happened last week, where she took her crutch because she had her leg and ankle injury, thanks to Lonnie, and smacked her in the back with the crutch. And then Robbie E's like, oh, you can't do that, And then Maddie's like, I want Lonnie. So Mr. Robbie E's like, okay, you have your match. If you can get medically cleared. She was medically cleared. I think it was a bad idea to have this match, but, but she did her best. That's that. Alright, a drop kick puts Kaylani down to start. Slap suplex puts her in the corner. But then Kaylani boots Maddie in the face. Pretty much to some avail. Maddie just gets mad. Sets on a Fujiwara armbar. And Kaylani fought up and sends her into the corner, where Maddie sends her into the ring post. Ow! They get back in. Maddie sends Lonnie into the ropes, but the bad knee gave out. Uh-oh. But she's able to send Kaylani back to the outside as we go to break. We come back. As always, the heels come back during the break. Kaylani stays on the bad leg. And then a weird standing figure 4 variation. That's inventive. Okay. Then a half crab in the ropes has Maddie scrambling for help and in big trouble. But she fights up with some strikes and a suplex. But Lonnie goes right back to that knee. Goes for one of a kind! And missed. Sorry, you're not RVD. Sorry. Rob Van Dam! You suck. So he goes for one of a kind, missed it. Maddie's knee still isn't good. Then we get an STF, followed by the House of Pain. The Haas of Pain, made famous by a guy named Charlie Haas. Though it looked like a standing Texas cloverleaf, if you will. 1, 2, 3. Well, not 1, 2, 3. Maddie tapped out. So it looks like Kaylani might be getting a speed title shot. Not that she needs it. But we'll see what happens with that. But it is what it is. But, inventive little moves. STF, the House of Pain. Not the House of Pain, The House of Pain is in effect, y'all. And anyone who steps up is getting wrecked. Remember that song from 1994? Good shit. Good shit. Let me move on. Alright, match was 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, we're in the back with the women's North American champion, the creepy girl, Tatum Paxley, and the rocker chick, Lizzie Rain. They're in the back. Talk about last week when Shiloh, my boy Shiloh Hill, actually, let's talk about their match. Their pretty good match last week for the North American title, which Tatum somehow, someway retained. And then Delta wrecked them both. So anyway, Shiloh comes in, still on his Mr. NXT campaign. I think he should win. So he comes in and talks about stuff. And then another good friend of mine, Tristan Angels, who follows me on Twitter, so does Shiloh, by the way, because they're great men. Tristan Angels comes in, complains about Shiloh's petition to become the new Mr. NXT, and he reads off names that are on the petition. He's like, Papa Shango, Timothy Chalamet, or something like that, Mike Tyson. I'm like, wait, what? I started cracking up. I'm like, freaking Papa Shango. Okay. What's next? The Godfather? It's the same guy, That was funny. So, Tristan hopes Charlie Dempsey stretches him out a little bit later on in the night. That sounds vulgar. Sexual and violent, too. Yikes. So we get to see what happens with that. So we got Tristan Angels and my boy Shiloh Hill. They'll tussle in that very ring a little bit later. Alright, so I gave that segment 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, then it's time for Deuces and Jokers. That's the remnants of Darkstate, now with a red X through Saquon Sugar's face. So we got Osiris Griffin, Cutler, I don't know why he's still in the group. And, the guy that took out Saquon Sugars last week, Dion Lennox. They come out for a little kitty chat, brag about their success in other sports. But Saquon was just an independent wrestler. Yeah, his name was Lucky Ali for you people at home. Great independent wrestler, by the way. Then they complain about him. The fans sound like they're having a dueling chant about Saquon. Well, something. I don't know what they were chanting. It was just weird. Like, what are you chanting? Anyway, Dion says there is no Darkstate without them. And now we're going to do what we used to do, and that's kick ass and have our sights on some gold. Gold! And we got that. See what happens with all that. Didn't really care for the segment too much. 2.25 out of 5 stars. Didn't care at all. Alright, after that, we're in the the trainer's room, where Maddie's getting her knee looked at. Has some ice on it. Kendall's next to her. And then Lola, the NXT Women's Champion, comes in and says, "Hey, mommy, how you doing, mommy?" Well, obviously she's not doing so good. And then, she's like, "Oh, okay, just my knee." And then I think the trainer is saying that Maddie has to go for an MRI. Uh-oh. When somebody says you gotta go for an MRI, that's not good news. Sometimes. But it is what it is. Hopefully, my girl Maddie is not seriously hurt with that knee injury that made it worse. We'll see. Then, Kaylee Armstrong from LFG and Evolve, she comes in, starts mocking him. "Oh, you got a boo-boo!" And then she goes right up to Lola and says, "I'm going to be watching your title match there, senorita. Mommy." So then she leaves, and then Lola's like, "Oh, tú eres too stúpida," something like that. Some weird stuff in Spanish. Had to get Rosa to translate. I don't know that much Spanish, alright? Stop. Pendeja. Get that fucking sponge away from me. I'm gonna put up your ass. Go make my dinner ready. Anyway, sorry about that. She's going nuts. As always, we move on. Alright, so we'll see what happens with Lola Vice, she defends the belt against Bricky Hogan 2.0 brother. That's Izzy Dame in the main event for the NXT Women's World title. See what happens with Maddie and Kendall and Kaylee later on. Alright, then we go back to the ring. We start another men's speed championship tournament tournament. The winner will face Lexis King in the for the title. So we had Sean Legacy taking on Dorian Van Duk's DVD. And as always, a 3-minute time limit in these type of matches. 5 minutes for the title match. And they went at it. The match ends in a draw. A 3-minute draw. Even after a super Spanish fly by Sean Legacy. Right at the buzzer. That was it. That was the nice part of the match, but no winner. Both members are eliminated. I'm like, what? You can't put them in, well, whoever wins the next match between Romeo Moreno and, who did he face? I gotta look at my notes now. Ben Frazier and Romeo Moreno. You can't have the winner of that match go to face Lexis King, and the two guys that just got eliminated can't be in that match, have a fatal 4-way for the title? Do I have to book everything for you, Hickenbottom? I mean, seriously. I should be booking NXT. Makes no sense to have two guys fight in a great match, 3-minute match, that couldn't even go overtime. No, they get eliminated. Which makes no freaking sense to me. So they're out of the tournament. So now, the winner of Romeo Moreno and Ben Frazier takes on Lexis King for the men's speed title. What a waste. That's that. But good match between two guys from Evolve, basically. Sean Legacy and Dorian Van Duk's. So, DVD. You scratched it. You know how DVDs scratch all the time. But anyway, we got that. Match was actually, I thought it was pretty good. 2.5 out of 5 stars. After match, we have a Code of Honor, which is rare in NXT, but you love to see it. Friendship! Yay! Alright, we got that. Alright. Then we're in the women's locker room. We have, well, today's her birthday. Natalia, or Natty. She's pleased with Layla Diggs from LFG and Evolve. The woman who looks like a Temu version of Mercedes Moné. The boss. Kind of looks like a little bit of Bianca Belair from NXT too. But anyway, she's pleased with Layla standing up to Jada Parker. And it's going to be in her corner for our next match. So we got Jada Parker taking on Layla Diggs with Natalia at ringside. Match wasn't anything to write home about. 4-minute match. Jada in her hood gear, you know, she had her do-rag and kind of had her Lola Vice gear on. Don't know what that was about, but anyway. She goes for the teardrop, missed in the corner. Later is right back with an armbar, 1905 armbar. Knocks Jada down again. Goes for the big moonsault. She hits a picture-perfect moonsault. Probably one of the best in the women's division. Not of all time, in the women's division. Because there's a lot of people that hit moonsaults. Kurt Angle had a great moonsault. Even Christopher Daniels had a great, moonsault back in the day. Prettiest moonsault ever. Tiffy Tiff has a decent moonsault. But Layla Diggs, when she hits that moonsault, she hits it like she's freaking flying. He's like, boing! Boom! I mean, you gotta see it to believe it. It is amazing how she hits that. When it Evolve. Go to her Evolve matches and see how she hits that picture-perfect moonsault. She gets air on that, too. Just freaking flyer miles. Shit. So she goes to the moonsault. Miss. No one in the pool for you, Layla. Sorry. And then Jada with the Hypnotique. And then Deja Vu. 1, 2, 3, and 4 minutes. Jada Parker gets the win. Miss Parker. Miss Parker. She gets the win. That's pretty much it. And I think after the match, he stared at Natty, and that was it. But match was alright. 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, then we get a promo from Birthmark, or Birthright, whatever you want to call him. Lexus King, the Speed Champion, Stacks Mahomes, and his hot wife, Ariana Grace, and Charlie Dempsey. They're all there, and Uriah Connors. They're there. They're worried about the Speed title tournament, and then Fraxium comes in, Ben Frazier and 8Kid. They kind of mock them a little bit. I'm like, nobody cares. Wow, Fraxium went from being on SmackDown, barely being used, now they go back down to NXT. That's sad. Probably gonna get released soon. Who knows? And we get that. Alright, after that, we get a video on my cousin. Hey, Gus, give me. That's my cousin, my legit cousin, Tony D'Angelo. Not cooking me any pasta. We're gonna have some leftovers tonight. So, but Salvatore, his good buddy Salvatore, cooked me and the missus up some good chicken parmesan and pasta. It was so good, cuz. It was so good. I'm gonna have more. You know. But he cooked it for $2. You would have to get it at your local Italian restaurant or pizzeria for $12.50. But I get it for $2 because that's my cousin. My legit cousin. No, I'm not joking about that. He's legit. You know, kick your ass. Like I would. Because us Italians, we will fuck you up. Well, that's that. Yeah, I know. Them too. We always just talking about the Spanish people too. Ese! Okay. Sorry. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so that leads to Tony D coming out for a little chitty chat, the NXT World Champion. Talks about there are a lot of people around here going for his belt, and talks about that next week he will face Anthony Luke, Cam Hendricks for the title. Cam Hendricks gonna win? No. Hopefully not. Tony's ready for him, but for now, he wants Evil, or Naruto, Naruto, whatever. He wants Naruto to come out and face him face to face. So, on cue, Naruto comes out, and in broken English, he says, "I'm here to keep your title safe, Tony." Tony's like, "I don't buy that bullshit. I don't buy that bullshit, dude." But, you know, Evil says, "I want you to be champion so we can go to war." Oh, I want that. Yakuza versus the Mafia. Set it up. Let's go. And then out of nowhere, this idiot comes out, the Temu version of The Rock, Cam Hendricks. He comes out and says, Tony, you're running into a buzzsaw next week. Yeah, like you're a buzzsaw. What are you, Tajiri? You're not Tajiri, so shut the fuck up, you Temu Rock. Anyway, Tony says that Cam sees the title as a stepping stone to fame, you think? And it doesn't go that easily. So, he goes to leave, and then Anthony Luke tries to attack him, but Naruto's like, he blocks the punch, and he's like, no, 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 and then, basically, Naruto beats his ass. So, it seems like Evil is like the Yakuza bodyguard for Tony D. So, whoever faces Tony D, you gotta worry about Naruto, Evil, and I'm just gonna call him Evil, because Naruto sounds just creepy. It sounds weird. So I'm going to call him Evil. So Evil is going to be the bodyguard for my cousin. Not that he needs it, but we'll see. I think at the next major pay-per-view for NXT, which is probably Great American Bash, I think we're going to see Evil versus my Tony D for the NXT title. And I think Evil will have that belt probably I would say by July, whenever the next pay-per-view is. I mean, we'll see how it goes, and that's that. Alright, but I gave that segment 3 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, we're in the back with Tavion Heights and the NXT Men's North American Champion, but I also call him Ozzy Osbourne. They argue a bit about what happened last week, where, Tavion got involved in a tag team match with Mason Rook and Cam Hendricks. So they're arguing. Tavion says, I'm going to calm down. I'm going to tranquilo. I'm going to calm down a little bit. And then, out of nowhere, Darkstate jumped both of them and beat them to a pulp. I think they put Miles, they're throwing him into equipment. They put Tavion, I believe, through a table. Darkstate was on a wrecking, they were on a wrecking crew last night. Not last night, Tuesday night. They were just annihilating people. Because they don't give two shits. So, we'll see what happens with that. So I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then the Vanity Project, the men's tag team champions of Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes, along with Jackson Trick and Jackson's, sort of girlfriend, Bailey Humphries, a.k.a. Micah Lockwood. They run into the Cowboy. No, not Adam Page, but another guy's a Cowboy. Tate Wilder, recovering from his motorcycle accident. Wait, when did he get... He got into a motorcycle accident? I thought they were just talking about him getting his ass handed to him last week by Kiana Carver when he got his little eye busted wide open. But anyway, Tate says he's fine. He's fine, and he wants to challenge Jackson Crate next week. So, match is official. Do I care? No. Because NXT is starting to turn into Evolve 2.0. Isn't it? Next thing we'll know, I have Timothy Thatcher, the GM of Evolve, on the show. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but... Yeah, him and Robbie E can, I need a drink! Let's hang out with the other GMs, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. Let's all go to the bar and get drunk. There's so much chaos on our shows. Alright, so we got that. We move on. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, back to the ring with, I guess the finals of the men's speed tournament. We got Ben Frazier and Romeo Moreno ese. And this is really the finals of the tournament because, Shawn Legacy and Dorian Van Dux got eliminated by a draw. So the fans welcome Ben Frazier back. I am the warrior! That guy. He runs the ropes like a madman. I mean, you couldn't blink. If you blinked, you missed a lot. So anyway, a running kick connects, but Romeo, who had Noam Dar at ringside, he comes back with a basic headlock, 1905. That gets broken up, so Romeo goes to the rope, where Ben Frazier catches him with a springboard reverse Spanish fly. That was nice. And then he super kicks Romeo out of mid-air, but Romeo catches him on the top rope with a German superplex, crazy, for a double down, and then a double breather, basically. Romeo sends Ben Frazier outside, and then back in. Ben Frazier catches Romeo in a superplex, but Romeo rolled him into a small package. 1, 2, 3 with 2 seconds left. That was really fast. And, hey, Romeo getting the shocking win. I thought Ben Frazier was going to take on Lexis King. Because I thought that, I was thinking that match could be, a little bit harder for Lexis King to win. But now, Lexis King versus Romeo Moreno, and, Noam Dar's going to be at ringside. Can Romeo do the unthinkable? I don't think so. I think Lexis King's going to retain. But we'll see what happens with that. But this match was actually pretty damn good. 3.25 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then we got some dissension in the cuckling, where we have Izzy and Nico. We see them warming up. Shawn Spears nowhere to be found. I wonder where he went. Probably to talk to, Cassie Lee. Peyton Royce, his hot wife. Bastard impregnated her. Fuck you, man. Move on. Alright, then we got a Clash in Italy rundown for this Sunday. That's that. Alright, then we go to Robbie E. Robert Stone. He's all happy with the big man, Mason Rook. He's big, He's bad. He'll body slam your fucking dad. He's happy with how he attacked Cam Hendricks last week. But the reality is Cam Hendricks got the win. He gets the title shot against Tony D. I don't know why he gets it with Tony D, even though he pinned Miles. Don't call him Ozzy Osbourne. Go figure that one out. And then Evil comes in. I'm like, oh shit. And basically he tells Mason Rook, you need to stay out of the way of the title. Don't get involved in the title match, or we have problems. You know, next week, that's probably going to be the main event. That's going to end in chicanery. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think Mason Rook is going to have a promising NXT career. You know why? Because he's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your fucking dad. And that's pretty much it. We move on. Alright, they were supposed to have a match, I think with OTM, I don't know who they were facing, but they come out, Bronco Nima and Lucius Price, they come out, but then Sean Spears, the chairman of the board basically, comes out, wallows them both with a chair. So much for that match. So, I guess the Cuckling and, him and Nico are going to face off against them. I care less about that. OTM should be tag team champions by now. I'm just saying. It wasn't for, I think it was Bronco Nima's injury. They should have been champs, but I don't know. Alright, we move on with that. So that segment got a dud. Zero. Yes, exactly. Miyado. Thank you. Anyway. Alright, then we go to the women's locker room. It starts clearing out. We see Wendy Choo-Choo, the Evolve Women's Champion. We see PJ Vasa, what's her name? Panay in LFG. Her name was Panay. I think P Nasty, basically. Now it's PJ Vasa, the Samoan. I should do that thing. It's something like that. If I messed it up, PJ, I'm sorry. Don't get Roman after me, my trouble chief. Remember, I acknowledge your cousin-in-law, or whatever he is to her, because she is Samoan. But, we acknowledge the Samoan dynasty here. But anyway. What? Not that one! I said this one! Where was he giving me the other finger? Bastard. Alright, so women's locker room close out. I think we saw Wendy Choo-Choo, PJ Vasa, Carmen Petrovic sighting. And then we see Nikita Lyon's Dancey, and I think a few others. Katie Armstrong comes out and says, I am going to be watching both titles. I guess both women's title matches, I guess. I don't know what she's talking about. And then the crazy girl, Thea Hale, steps out and says, that's not so easy, but Kaylee's not impressed. I thought we were going to get a match coming up. I'm like, oh, great. Kaylee versus Thea Hale. Who wins that? Next time, might as well shut your mouth there, Thea Hale. I love you, but, there's a time and a place when you need to, talk shit. But that's, pretty much all I got to say about that. We move on. So she's not impressed, Skywalker. Not impressed at all. So get that. Alright, we move on. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then it's time for Shiloh. He's in the back. He's going over his voters' data. Thinks he needs more Aussies. Okay. Aussie! Oi! No, not oink. Oi! Like that video for AC/DC. TNT! Oi! Not oink. Go cook, stop! Maniac. Anyway, Delta comes in, he's not interested, but then the rocker chick, Lizzie Rain, comes in, jumps from behind, they have a cat fight! It's somewhere in the back, like one of those trailers. Those big freaking trailers in the back. I'm like, what is that? Alright. So it looks like we got Lizzie Rain and Delta going at it over that women's North American title and date with Tatum Paxley. We got that. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then it's time for Shiloh. He takes on Charlie Dempsey, Mr. Regal's son. Who has the birthright at ringside, as always. And it wasn't a bad match, under 9 minutes. Starts off with Shiloh slamming Mr. Dempsey to start. Shiloh hits a running shoulder block, goes after the arm, which doesn't really go too far. Then a top rope clothesline and a running clothesline put Mr. Regal's son on the floor. We go to break, we come right back with, as always, the heels come back. Charlie Dempsey takes Shiloh down, works on his arm, goes for the cross arm breaker, gets countered into a power bomb, but Charlie Dempsey gets in a knockdown of his own for a double down. Shiloh gets back up with an inverted standing moonsault, interesting. And then they knock each other back down again for another double down. And then Charlie Dempsey tries a butterfly suplex, but Shiloh suplexes him backwards. Ow! And gets the pin out of nowhere. I don't know if that was the actual pin. That was supposed to be the actual finish, because it kind of looked weird. Hey, but a win's a win. My boy Shiloh gets the win in under 9 minutes. Match was kind of sloppy, so I still gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's it. Then after the match, Order! Order! Tristan Angels comes out and announces that in 2 weeks, we get the first ever Mr. NXT pageant. Joy! Are we going to have a swimsuit competition? No, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. You might want to see that. You know those guys in Speedos. You'll never catch me in one of those. I know I have a big one. It'll probably not fit the Speedo. No, my ass crack hanging out. I mean, come on now. No one will see that. Ew. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? Stop. Anyway. Alright, so we got that. The Mr. NXT pageant. All we need is maybe Mr. Elegance to kind of cross over and join us. Oh, God, I just gave him an idea. Fuck! Moving on from that. Alright, then we're in the back. Izzy Dame starts yelling at Sean Spears about, hey, where were you before? He apologizes for the attack on OTM. Actually, the attack on the night of her, well, yeah, basically the attack on the night of her title match. So, more dissension. What's going on with the cuckling? I don't know. Look at that. Alright, so I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we got a rundown of next week's show. Should be interesting. That's that. Alright, then it's time for your main event of NXT. For the NXT Women's title, we got Lola defending against Bookie Hogan 2.0, Izzy Dame. And this was a pretty good match to end the show. Just about 11 minutes. To get, Lola starts with getting powered in the corner. Izzy hits a big-time clothesline, almost knocked Lola the fuck out. But Lola fights back, gets a fruit roll-up into a crossface, which is broken up easily. And then a running seated senton splash off the apron, hits Izzy, but then Sean Spears grabbed, who was at ringside, along with Nico. He grabbed Lola's foot, and that distraction let Izzy hit a backstabber, ouch. But then OTM come out, go after Sean Spears and Nico. They got him out of ringside. So back to a one-on-one match. As we go to break, we come back. Lola kicks away, sets up a running sexy hip attack. Yeah, or whatever Booker T says. Oh yeah, man! In the corner, Izzy pops up with a boot to face, and they go to the apron where Lola is sent into the ring post a few times. Ow! Izzy, ow! Aye! But Lola tries to pull Izzy into a cross arm breaker, but gets reversed into a lion tamer. Somebody's been watching Jericho. That gets broken up. Lola with a super kick. She super kicks her down. Then we get an old-fashioned rep bump. I'm like, oh no, we're going to get a title change? I hope not. And then they forearm it out. Lola gets the better of that. hits the spinning back fist of doom, and then she goes to the cover. 1, 2, 3, we have no referee! Referee, wake up and do something! Oh, you're sleeping. Get up, you asshole! So he finally wakes up. Stupid freaking referee. 1, 2, Izzy kicked out. Damn it. And then Izzy gets up, grabs the NXT Women's title, and throws it to Lola, who kind of fumbled it, but oh my god, boom! She fumbled, kind of like the Jets. Oi, oi, oi. Because you know the Niners will catch it easily. That's no story for another time. So Lola kind of bobbled the title, and Izzy with that bicycle kick right to the mush. I know that was a little bit botchy, but we'll go with it. She loads up a power bomb, but Lola reversed it into a guillotine. Guillotine choke. That gets broken up, and then they run the ropes, and Lola stops really quickly. Boom! Back fist of hell! Wicked back fist. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3, and still, your reigning, defending women's NXT World Champion, Lola Paisese, in under 11 minutes. Just a smidge under 11. 10:56 to be exact. So, good match. 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's it. And you thought we were done, but no! We have an extra segment to end the show. Darkstate leaves the arena. Pauses more chaos next week, and as they leave, we see Saquon Sugars like Batman or Sting on top of a truck or a wall. I don't know if it was a wall or it was a truck, watching from the distance. I'm like, yup, hey, we got Sting. It's Stink. No, I mean Sting. So he's like kind of like watching, like I'm watching. So we'll see what happens next this Tuesday night on the program with Saquon Sugars and Darkstate. We got my cousin Tony D taking on Cam Hendricks for the NXT World Title. And a whole lot more next week. I think we got Lexis King and Romeo Moreno for the Speed Title. So we'll see what happens with that. And a whole lot more this Tuesday night on the program. The first episode in June. Should be a good one. As we're rolling on to, I don't know, something. Maybe the Great American Bash, which is going to be on the CW11. So, pay-per-views no longer on pay-per-view. We're going to see them actually on the CW11, which is great. So fuck the Met games in July or whatever. If they're going to be on the West Coast, you ain't going to see that. You might see it, but who knows. But we'll go from there. And that's that. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is my video. I'm going to get ready for NXT in about 45 minutes. And that's that. After TNA, sorry. We're going to get ready for TNA in about 45 minutes. See what's going to go on with that. Should be a good show tonight. Like I said, champions versus challengers matches. Should be some good shit. I'll get it out of my mouth. That's what she said. And that's that. And, yeah. So after TNA and Ring of Honor, I'll be back with your Monday Night Raw review, and then we'll talk about AEW early tomorrow afternoon, and then before SmackDown. I'll get that up before SmackDown, and because I got a half day of work tomorrow, so it's going out. So got that. So do that before SmackDown, and then so do we do AEW, Dynamite, and Collision tomorrow. There will be another Collision on Saturday night. I don't know why, but okay, we're gonna do that. So Friday, tomorrow we're gonna do AEW, and then we'll talk about SmackDown late tomorrow night. So we'll do a not a spoiler edition because I'll be watching it beforehand. So it is what it is. So if you're not gonna watch it at 8. Then you don't want to watch it at 2. If you have a VPN, you get to watch it at 2 on Netflix. If not, you're screwed until 8 o'clock. So, whatever you want to do. But we'll talk about it Friday night. Get that out of the way. Talk about TNA Ring of Honor on Saturday. Then we're going to do then I'll do the predictions for Clash in Italy for Sunday. Get you ready for Triple Op pay-per-view Noches de los Grandes Saturday night. We'll talk about that on Sunday, along with Collision, and get your, we'll talk about, Noches de los Grandes, we'll talk about Collision, late Sunday night, because after the pay-per-view, we'll talk about that, and then late Sunday night, we'll do a Clash in Italy review, before we get to Raw, which is at 2 p.m. live on Netflix. I want to get the pay-per-view review out of the way Sunday night before we get to Raw on Monday. And there will be Raw spoilers, some Raw spoilers on Monday night, because, people might be at work Monday, can't watch it live on Netflix at work or whatever, so you might have to watch the replay of it. So for those who are not going to be watching Raw until late Monday or Monday, probably Monday night, late Monday night, or whenever you're going to watch it. So there might be some spoilers, or not, but we'll see. That's with that, but yeah, I'm going to watch the first hour of Raw on Monday. I'm going to miss the second, miss the second hour from 3 to 4, so I will be out at a doctor appointment. So I will watch when I get home, probably about, I don't know what time I'm getting home, but we'll see, because I might have some errands to run after that. So I'll rewatch the entire Raw Monday night and get my notes together, and then we'll do a Monday Night Raw review late Monday night. And then we'll go through the first week of June with NXT. We got Dynamite from Virginia. Good show, good card coming up on Wednesday night, this Wednesday night, and then back to normalcy pretty much, because we don't have a pay-per-view until I think the end of June, which is we got Night of Champions coming up, we got Slammiversary coming up the day after that, and Forbidden Door at the end of June. So we're rolling in to June, and pretty much our next stop after Clash in Italy will be Night of Champions, then Forbidden Door, and Slammiversary. Then we go into July. We got, July weekend, which is, summertime. Pretty much the midpoint of the summer. And then in July, we got Redemption at the end of July. I think we might have some for NXT. I think we got a couple of events in July, and then on August 1st, SummerSlam, Night 1 and 2 in Minneapolis. Pretty much Brock Lesnar's actual retirement. And then at the end of the month, we got All In. We got August 23rd is Lockdown from, I believe, Boston. So that should be fun. They were supposed to go head-to-head with All In. Not doing it. Not going to do it. So we got that. Then we get to September. I think we got All Out. And a couple of other pay-per-views down the pipe. Death Before Dishonor might be around. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. So we got a big, huge summer for the next, from pretty much after this Sunday, we're rolling on for the next 3 months with a lot of events, a lot of news, a lot of stuff. So please hit that bell from now until pretty much Labor Day. And I'll be here throughout the summer, hopefully into the fall. And getting into the winter, it's a little bit tricky in the winter, we'll see. And that's pretty much it. So, that's all I gotta say for now, guys. Thanks for watching. My final rating for NXT. I give it 7 out of 10 stars. Pretty normal. And that's that. Alright, let's get ready for TNA coming up in about a half hour from now. So, enjoy that, ladies and gentlemen. So that's that. So, I'm Peter Joseph signing off. Peace out. Rock on and rock hard with your Kokut. And if you're not down with that, well, that's too goddamn bad, because me and the Prophecy, we got 3 fucking words for all you dingbats out there. Fuck you, man. Remember it, because you can't stop us all. So kiss my ass. And that's it. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.